Hi, everyone. It's Stephanie Lueras from Heart and Soul Fitness and Wellness. And we are here for Coffee Connect with Stephanie Lueras. And today, it's not Monday at 9 a.m. Arizona time. It's actually Sunday night, right before dinner. And I am in one of my top 2 favorite places in the world, Sedona, Arizona. And I'm in like the most beautiful resort in such a comfortable, beautiful suite. Like, how often do you sit here with a fireplace? But this is also the first time I have traveled since COVID set in, other than to see immediate family. This weekend has been a huge, huge deal for me in not only being able to speak at a retreat with some incredible other speakers, as well as phenomenal participants. And I couldn't be more grateful for that. And I will definitely be spreading more information about this retreat as it starts to get some momentum for next year, because this is for high achieving women. And I know a lot of you, and you need to be here. But that aside, I'm here pre-recording this on Sunday night because I'm going to be traveling tomorrow. I'm going to be, by way of visiting some family, coming home tomorrow, and I'm not going to be in a place with a stable, even phone connection to get on Zoom. So I figured, let's just take the stress out of it and come to you right now so that all of the social media magic can happen tomorrow and post this during the regular time. Logistics. But so I'm not going to be posting the join me in the Zoom room because you can't today, but you can any other Monday at 9 a.m. Arizona time. Caveats aside, I want to talk to you today about rest versus sleep and how they are not necessarily the same thing. We know the importance of good sleep and what good sleep does for our energy levels, for our emotional state, for our cognition. Like, it's not a big secret, the benefits of sleep. Where we start to go off the rails a little bit in terms of sleep is how much sleep are you getting? And that gets a little bit sketchy sometimes. You know, how much sleep are you getting? Is it only 4 or 5 hours of sleep? And have you taught yourself the lie that 4 or 5 hours of sleep is adequate? It is not, my friends. We need to be sleeping. Our body is very busy in sleep. Our body is recovering, restoring, digesting. All of the processes of the body that continue on while we are sleeping are an energy suck. So if we're just getting the bare minimum sleep to restore us for the day, we're not getting enough for our body to continue that restoration process. Now, I'm not going to tell you you need 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours of sleep. That's a little bit more of an individual thing. But if you are not getting enough, if you're saying, I just need this minimal amount of sleep, that is a lie we are telling ourselves, and we need to knock it off. The other side that we don't sometimes consider is rest. Is sleep rest? Sometimes. You know, like I said, our body is very busy in our sleep. So if we're not getting enough sleep, then we aren't resting. But there's also rest that comes beyond sleep. And that looks a little bit different. for everyone. That rest comes in the form of stepping aside, breaking away, backing off, stopping, letting ourselves physically and metaphorically take a breath. This is so important. Now, for some people, rest can be an active thing. Rest can be going for a leisurely walk or hike. It can be different activities that are engaging some type of physicality, but it's also providing you a restorative process. But then there's also the rest where we're not moving. It might be reading those guilty pleasure novels or binge watching Netflix or your favorite streaming network. It might be going for a drive or playing a game with your family. There's a lot of different things that fall under that area of rest because they're restoring us. They're filling that emotional cup and helping us to be more present, be more aware, be in this moment. And that's one of those things that's so important because we think about rest needs to be this thing where we're disconnected, where we're not doing any type of cognitive activity. And that's not necessarily the case. And like I said, rest looks different for everybody. For me, I am totally the proponent for a nap. If I'm able to, when I have my lunch break, I like to take a little 15-minute snooze on the couch. That is rest for me. But also, there's times when that's not available, and rest might look like sitting in a parking lot in my car and listening to a podcast or my favorite music or just something else that's giving me that few minutes of space from this to that to what's next on the calendar. It's that little bit of a pick-me-up. And when we start looking at rest in that other way, to look at the activities, whether they are active or not, that are restoring us, rest becomes a little bit easier to swallow because it's very easy to say, well, I don't have time for that. You do. And after you take that pause, after you've rested, you're able to be more present for the people, the things, the activities, the whatever, fill in the blank on your calendar that takes your time and energy. So I want you to think about today, what first, am I getting enough sleep? If not, how can I change that? And what things do I do that bring me rest, that give me that space and grace? And if you're having a hard time thinking of things, then it might be it's been a little bit too long since you've tried to rest. I'm going to be talking a little bit more about sleep versus rest in a more, scientific way in one of my upcoming columns in the Today's New Herald in March. And so I'll be posting that link. But sleep and rest are basic needs. And we have a lot of basic needs. We need to eat, we need to hydrate, we need to sleep and rest. Because those are the building blocks that keep us going, that help us to achieve our goals, to even come to that place where we're ready and willing to look at our goals. And first, we have to make sure those foundational pieces are in place before we can go any further. So that's my thoughts for today on sleep versus rest. Please, if you have questions or comments, drop them in the comment box. I do come back and read them. I will respond. If you have other questions that you're like, oh, I don't know about leaving that publicly, get into my DMs or my email or set up some time on my calendar so that we can talk a little bit more about this stuff. I will be back next Monday for our Coffee and Connect Live that streams on Facebook, or you can join me live in the Zoom room at 9 a.m. Arizona time. It's only a couple more weeks that it'll be 9 a.m. Mountain time, but because, you know, Arizona, we don't change time. So mid-March, it'll then be 9 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Mountain. But right now, it's 9 a.m. Arizona Mountain time. Anyway, you can join me live on this next week. You can register at bit.ly/Coffee with Stephanie. And you'll also see the other places where you can find me in the video notes today. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, week, time, whenever you're viewing this. And I hope you find it restful.